Hey coin collectors, it's DC and you're watching the DC Coin World International Coin Channel, and this is the $250,000 prototype for the 1971S. And you see, not only is it a 1971S from the San Francisco Mint prototype, but it's also a double die obverse, so they kind of doubled up on some of the lettering here. And if we scroll down a little bit, we'll see that it's a SP67, which means it's a special strike, and that's always going to be the way with prototypes. You start off trying to figure out how to make the coin, and this is one of the ways they figured it out. And then you go down here and you see that it sold in 2022 for $264,000. Well, we're going to get to this coin, but we're also going to talk about the other coins, and there are plenty of Eisenhower dollars from 1971 that are worth $10,000 or over, and there's even more that are worth between $3,000 and $10,000. So let's start looking at these Eisenhower dollars and see what we got. When you look at the Eisenhower dollars, one of the first things you want to do is see what the mint mark is on them. And you see there's a D there. There's no mint mark on that one. There's a D on this one, and there's no mint mark on this one. For the 1971 Eisenhower dollars, if it doesn't have a mint mark, it means it's from Philadelphia. None of the Philadelphia coins had the P on them at that time. And you see this one, it says Liberty at the top. In God We Trust under Eisenhower's chin. And this is President Dwight D. Eisenhower facing to the left, 1971 here. And then if we tip it up, we'll see something that we saw in that prototype also, and that is there's an F and a G there for Frank Gasparo, who was the engraver of this coin. This particular coin, we know from Philadelphia, it's going to be a clad coin. In other words, it's a copper nickel covering on both sides over a full copper center. They also made this at other mints in a silver, but at Philadelphia they only made the clad. And then we get to the back of it and we see that this is a coin that commemorates two different things. Eisenhower on the front and United States of America landing on the moon on the back. And you see the eagle landing on the moon holding the olive branch, and there's the craters of the moon, $1 at the bottom. If we go around the outside, we see 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 stars, and there's a lot of the United States coins that have 13 stars on them, so that's for the original 13 colonies. And then there's the earth over the eagle's shoulder. And also here, look at that beak. There is a version of the Denver Mint coin called the Friendly Eagle, where the eagle actually has a smile. It looks like it has a smile on it, and that's a very, very expensive version, but that's not in the Philadelphia coin. So in Philadelphia, in 1971, they made 47.799 million, or 48 million essentially. These are 75% copper, 25% nickel coating over a pure copper center. They weigh 22.7 grams and are 38.5 millimeters. They're huge coins. At an MS65, this coin is worth only $14. But if you can get it up to a mint state 67, and they've found 4 of those so far, they're worth $13,500 as estimated by PCGS, the Professional Coin Grading Service. They also made these coins at 2 other mints, the Denver Mint and the San Francisco Mint. At the Denver Mint, we see the one here, and if we blow it way up, we see there's this little tiny D down there, and that's very weird, but it turns out that the mint mark on these coins is the same size as mint mark on all the coins. So if you get a quarter, it has the same exact size mint mark on it as this. Of course, the quarter's much smaller, and the mint mark looks much larger because the dime's so small. At the Denver Mint, they made 68.5 million. The auction record for a Denver Mint coin is $10,200. And you'll see that it has all the same stuff on it and the same clad. They only made clad coins at the Denver Mint. At a Mint State 68, it's $10,000, and they've only found one Mint State 68 ever so far. The Denver Mint coin has that smiling eagle on the back. Beak of the eagle looks slightly different, and in this case, this isn't one. But you'd want a lot more definition than this for it to be valuable. There is a Type 1 reverse, they call it, because this eagle landing on the moon is on the back of it. It's a Type 1 reverse that sold for $10,000 at auction on eBay in 2021, and it's a mint state 66 plus. It's called the Friendly Eagle Reverse. Now, when you take these coins, of course, as I said, you want to tip them up on the side and see what's in them. And this is very interesting because you see this one's almost all copper and a little bit, if we tip it up on the side, even though it's nickel on the back, they didn't get the back to wrap over the edge much. This one is almost all copper with a little line. This one here is, let's see what this is. And this one here is almost all copper with a little line. So what's going on with this one? Well, we open it up, we look at it, we see that this is a Denver Mint coin also, and it's got this green on it, and I'm not sure what that's from, but never clean a coin because this might have some incredible value to it. We just don't know. And if we tip it over in the back, we see this green on the back. We also see if we tip it over in the back, we get a little bit different look to the back. Let's make it a little smaller so you can see that. It's a different, almost a different coloring on the back in terms of it's a little browner. And we're not really sure why this one here has all this coating going all the way over in just this little bit of copper. And one more time we'll look at the edges because it looks so different from the other ones. I have never seen this before. If anybody has any ideas about it, feel free to put it in the comments. But one of the things you want to do is, if you ever get one that you're not quite sure about, get your scale out. And here's our scale here. And so we see we set it at 0. We put a regular dollar on there, Eisenhower dollar, and we see that it's 22.95 grams. We'll put another regular one on there from the D, from Denver Mint, and we'll see that's 22.5 grams. And then we'll put the one on with this funny side and see what that weighs. And this weighs 22.72, still within the range, I think. Even though it looks a lot different on the edge than these other ones, it still weighs pretty much the same amount. A little tiny bit less than the other ones. So I don't think it's missing the coating on the back. I think there's just something weird about it. But as I said, feel free to send any comments into me about what you think happened here. So they made these coins, as I said, at the San Francisco Mint also. Here's what the San Francisco Mint one would look like. It would be all silver on the side because it's a San Francisco Mint. They made this in a silver coin for regular strikes. In other words, they made a silver one that went they didn't have a proof strike on it and all the polishing. They made 6.8 million of those. And those are an 80% silver, 25% copper coating over a 79% copper, 21% silver inner. So it ends up being about 40% silver for the San Francisco Mint coins. Now this is not one from 1971. This is the bicentennial one, but this is what you'll see. You'll see an S that looks like this, and then you'll see the silver on the side. And the other thing that you'll see on these San Francisco Mint coins, and let's get the scale set up again. The other thing that you'll see on the San Francisco Mint coins is that they weigh quite different. They weigh 25.09 grams rather than 22 or almost 23 grams. So big difference in the silver coins versus the regular coins. And the silver coins in 1971 will weigh the exact same amount as the bicentennial silvers. For the silver coins from 1971, the San Francisco Mint coins, which you don't have one here, the auction record is $6,900, but right now for Mint State 69, PCGS says it's worth about $6,500. Also for the silver coins, you might get one of these things which has, they call them the peg legs. And we're going to show you that from the internet, what the peg leg looks like. So here's the peg leg version of the 1971 proof coin from PCGS website. And you can see the bottom one is the no series base here, or the peg leg, and here's the normal. So see how the normal has that little bit of a tip there and goes up here and here, and then look down here and you see that there's nothing behind it, and you also see that there's nothing on this one in front of the R leg and behind the R leg. So see how this one has a base on it? It kind of comes out each way. On this one, it doesn't have the base on it that goes out. And then on this one here, This one has a little bubble on the E and the tail coming out. And this one down here doesn't have that kind of bubble on the E and does not have the tail coming out. And that one is called, without those, the tails and the bubble, is called the peg leg version. And that's the one that's so expensive. If you actually get the peg leg version of the coin, you could be talking about $10,000 to $14,000 for proof 70. Those are all proof coins, of course, and those are the huge money ones. In addition, we saw that prototype that was at the very beginning that was worth $264,000. Well, there's also another prototype that they made which did not have the double die obverse on it, but just had what they call the DMR. They made 3 of those, and those are worth $102,000. So let's take a look at the San Francisco Mint coin worth $102,000. And here's that other prototype that they found, and this is the so-called DMR version, and you see the DMR up there. I believe that stands for Deep Mirror Reverse, but I'm not positive. If anybody knows, they can sure feel free to send it in. And this one is one where the front looks very similar to the first double die obverse without the double die on it, and the back has this mirrored, beautiful kind of polished reverse. So maybe they were trying to figure out how to do the reverse. At least that's what many experts think. So when you scroll down on this one, you see this an SP67. Again, because it was a special strike or a prototype coin, they put the SP in front of it rather than the PR for proof. And it's not a proof coin. It's just in this case it's a prototype. And then down there we see that one of these prototypes in 2023 sold for $102,000 for the so-called DMR prototype. And you also see, if we look way down in here, there's that S, and the S, as happens frequently in the 70s, they put the mint mark in so hard that it dented the coin. All right, let's get back to our coins. Well, that's all we have today from DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Look for these coins out there. They are all around. If you can get one for $2 or under, I generally just buy them so I can have them because they're not expensive. They are worth $1. You can always spend them if you need to. You're never going to get one of the $200,000 ones or the $100,000 ones because those were prototypes and they only made 3. But it's possible that you could get a really good Philadelphia one worth up to $14,000, a really good Denver one which worth over $10,000, and some really good San Francisco ones worth between $6,000 and $14,000. Have a great day from DC Coin World. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you have in the comment section.